Welcome to my humble little office. My name is R. Keith Andrews. I am a spiritual guide and paranormal adept, and this is the astrological forecast for February 16th through 22nd of 2020. This is a general reading, so if it does not seem to apply to you, by all means contact me at innervoiceenterprises@yahoo.ca, and I will be happy to look into it a little bit further for you. A couple of things to keep in mind. For those of you that understand astrology at all, okay, most people look at their sign based on the sun sign, as in Aries, Taurus, whatever. If you have a little more information, you can always check where your Mars, your Moon, or your Ascendant is, and take a look at those signs, because they may have more bearing. And at a later time, we will get into why those can have a more direct bearing sometimes than the sun itself. Okay, now let's get started. First and foremost, for the overall picture, we have to understand that the galactic center is sitting in Sagittarius right now. This means that on the whole, the truth is going to come out. Now, it may not be the truth you're hoping for. It may not be the things that you're wishing would happen, but it will come out any way you look at it. The other planets to consider are that Neptune is sitting in Pisces. So the things that govern your subconscious are sitting where the extreme levels are. So even the tiny things that are causing either happy thoughts or negative may be amplified. You'll also find that with Sagittarius, with Saturn sitting in Capricorn, that there's going to be a lot of information coming up around everybody regarding career, regarding their income or their education. They tend to go hand in hand. So, first and foremost, on the general side, we have the Empress card inverted, meaning that you're looking at a lot of change happening. There's going to be a lot of stuff gotten rid of. Physical stuff, thought processes, and possibly, in some people's cases, you may find what I call deadweight friendships being removed. Now, a deadweight friendship is simply a friendship where you're putting a lot of effort in and getting virtually nothing back in return. With Aries, oh, now this is always pleasant, the Three of Pentacles, meaning that there is, by the way, Pentacles may be referred to, depending on which deck you're using. You might be looking at discs or coins, or a few other names, but we'll start with those two. The Three of Pentacles indicates that there is a shift in your job happening. Now, understand the difference between job and career. The career, or your industry, if you will, is who pays your paycheck. Your job is what you do to get them to pay it, and it's a job that seems to be under consideration here. We are talking about a positive shift, by the way, meaning in all likelihood you're going to be dealing with a meeting or a possible promotion resulting in a surplus income, more money coming in than what has to go out. Taurus, we have the Ten of Wands. Now, the nice thing about the Ten of Wands being inverted, as this one is, indicates your stress level is likely to go down a fair chunk, meaning a problem that you've been dealing with is getting wrapped up today. Well, wrapped up this week. Okay, so pay attention to it. Understand not all things last. Everything runs in cycles. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. In this case, your stress level may have been really high and is now finally coming down. Gemini. Gemini has an interesting situation. The Ten of Pentacles inverted is indicating a shift in your finances. Okay, now, if you pay attention to what you're doing with them, you will find that you've still got the money to work with, but it does show a bit of an expense coming out before the end of the week that you're going to have to take a look at. Now, this may require a little juggling of your finances in order to accommodate. But because of the speed that your intellect works, you'll be able to compensate with it without too much trouble. Okay, now, Cancer. Cancer is showing celebration. Okay, nice part about celebration is that it is turning around and opening doors quite nicely. Okay, it is showing a Taurus is showing a nice celebration coming up. You're going to, by the look of it, you're going to be getting good news coming up. But as the end of the week approaches, this is something to share with those close to you. Now, this may be either it may be friends or family. It's not likely to be strangers that will affect you. Now, if we look at Leo, now Leo has an interesting challenge. Now, as we know, not all weeks are good for everybody. This is the Three of Swords, indicating a little bit of heartache. There's a challenge coming up. How you deal with it will determine whether or not it becomes a positive thing or a negative. Okay, you do have the capacity to make it work well for you. Okay, and don't forget, even though it does show a sense of loss, sometimes a loss can be a benefit, it can be a blessing in disguise. Okay, now, when we take a look at Virgo, Virgo does show, much like everybody else, you've got things to do. This is the Two of Pentacles, showing a change in things where you're going to have a little bit of struggle again, where it's a case of balancing the different things you've got going on. You may find that you have too many things on the go right now that are pulling you in too many directions. Get a list together, literally write them down, and figure out where your priorities are so you can get them wrapped up and out of the way. Okay, when we take a look at Libra, Libra is showing a constant, it's the Lover's card, but it's inverted, meaning it's showing a real attention being paid to the material world. Don't get caught up in, oh, it doesn't feel like it's necessarily going to be a good day. Take a look at the logical side of what you have physical, direct control over, and focus on that aspect. Yes, the way it feels will matter, but with the Lover's card inverted, it does show that the dominant concern will be on the material plane. Okay, now, when we take a look at Scorpio, Scorpio is showing the King of Cups inverted. Now that simply means that your emotions are going to be running pretty high. This is not abnormal for Scorpio, so put it to use. This can be either a really good feeling being jumped right to the top, or you may be struggling with a little bit of complications around you. Again, a downside can be a blessing in disguise. This is likely to be the end of an emotional confrontation or conflict that you've been dealing with that is finally coming to a close. Now, Sagittarius, here's where we get back to the good thing. Now, you'll see with the Five of Wands, it's inverted. The Five of Wands is your strife card, but because it's inverted, it does show a struggle coming to an end, where you're finally going to be able to put it behind you. Take a look at what's going on around you. Focus on the outcome. Don't worry so much about the little ups and downs and the little hiccups. The Five of Wands inverted says you will get through it and you will end up landing on your feet. When we take a look at Capricorn, Capricorn is showing the Strength card, meaning the card that indicates love and fear. Now, of course, with love being with it being inverted, it is showing a bit of an emotional upheaval, because as the truth is coming to the light, as it is with everybody, you're likely to find that it's coming out in a rather extreme way. But remember, because we're dealing with the material world, okay, because we're dealing with things that are taking place primarily focused here, as long as you think your way through it, your emotions can be controlled properly. Now, that is where live comes in handy. And as we can see, coordination is not always my strong suit. But my apologies, Aquarius, we have the Ten of Swords inverted. This is showing you've been bottling things up too much. You may have been paying too much attention to negative things going on around you. Because it's inverted, it's telling you to relax a bit. Don't get quite so caught up in the material, in the goings on that other people are saying are of a critical nature. Take a look at the ones that you really have control over and put those to rest. Okay, those are the ones to focus on. There's a lot of things you may well be trying to deal with, especially with friends and family, that you're trying to help sort out, that you really don't have a lot of control over. Okay, this is the time to really figure out which ones you can do something with. Now, when we come to Pisces, we have the sun inverted. Now, the sun does, because it's inverted, it is showing we're getting an amplification factor on the cleaning house. And that does not mean necessarily your actual house. It means getting rid of the physical stuff that you no longer require, getting rid of the thought processes, and this may just be a case of sitting down, talking things through with somebody in order to get them straight. All in all, things are going, as you can see, with this week, there's going to be a lot of change, you may find a sense of loss overall. Now we're going to pull one final card on the general overview of everybody and see what pops up here. Okay, so what we're going to do is just see what happens. If everything continues on the path it's on, if you pay attention to the idea of let the things go that you really don't have control over. Remember, you're the only one that can be successful for you. You cannot force it on somebody else. This is a week of decisions. That's the Two of Swords, meaning you're at a crossroads. You can either stay doing things the way you have been, or you can turn around and you can let the things go that you're not having a lot of impact on. So hopefully this helps. Take a look at it from the standpoint of not every week is going to be a positive one, but there's always positive things somewhere in there. Just like you'll find negative things inside of a week as well. So we will leave you with that, and hopefully things will work out for you. As we said, it is a general reading. If it does not seem to apply to you, do not worry about it. We are dealing with over 8 billion people, okay, that we're looking at. So if you've got further questions, absolutely remember to take a look down below to find out where you can get in touch with me. Okay, remember to like us, subscribe to our channel, and for pity's sakes, share things. Okay, the more you talk to people, the better off things get, in all fairness. So we're going to leave you with that for the time being. So until we meet again, take care of yourselves, and for pity's sakes, stay positive.